The issue is not your VSL. The issue is what happens after the VSL or what happens after
Okay.
they book the call. A person purchases a product that is a 1.8L or 4L
Mm.
after gaining a lot of trust, okay, or it's basically trust economy. So after only after they have made sure that they trust you, they will move forward with it. They have no issues spending this money unless you guarantee the results. How would you guarantee the results? Not by saying it out loud that we will give you the results. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry today is, you know, doing that. That will guarantee the results. But what happens over here is what is the offer that you have? Okay, the first thing. Now, offer comprises of a lot of things, and I would suggest you to read the book $1 Million Offer
Yeah, yeah,
again.
yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
and make the offer over there. But even if your offer is good, but you are not asking the questions that you are supposed to ask the other person in order to make sure that they need you will not be able to convert the sale. One, okay, questions. So this is param. I'm assuming that the offer is pretty good. Okay, once you know that the offer is pretty good, then I'm moving to questions. Okay, so you need to ask really good questions over there. Questions can be in the basis of the spin framework. Okay, read the book Spin Selling,
Okay.
situation, problem, implication, and need payoff. Then also read the book by Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference. Okay,
Mm.
that's gonna help you navigate the conversation better. Then once the questions are fine, then the content. And what is the content? The content is the part where you tell them what have you done till now, okay, or maybe even better, what's the process, okay, customer
Mm.
testimonials, and finally, no, that's all basically. All the other ones are just the versions of this only, process and customer
Mm.
testimonials.
Okay.
Then you can segregate the process into multiple subparts. Like you can pick up one part of the process and show it. Then customer testimonials can be based
Mm.
on your ideal customer that you want. What does that mean? There would be a lot of industries or companies you would want to focus upon, but
Mm.
a few of them will be your ideal ones. So you produce customer testimonials that are around those people. Let's say you are more interested in companies that are CRM based, okay, SaaS.
Mm.
So you have more customer testimonials from the founders of those, and then you can pick up geography as well, like, and then demographics. Geography, as in, let's say, if you want more people from Silicon Valley, then more customer testimonials from Silicon Valley, and more customer testimonials from a preferred age section that that people from 40 to 45 are good ones, the sweet spot.
What do you mean produce? मतलब fake create करने का?
नहीं, produce as in, see, there would be a lot of people. You can't put testimonial of everyone over there.
Yeah.
If you go to my website, you would not see testimonial of a single person over there. But if they
Mm.
are there, that means these are the kind of people who create least amount of friction for me, and that's why
Mm.
I have their customer testimonials.
No, but
Many
in
of
the
many of my customers come to me and say that we would want to have our testimonial over there, but I don't. Bhavesh sometimes has a few testimonials, and I tell him that let's not put that.
mm.
Now, let me explain, okay, first. Then you
Yeah,
can
yes.
find it
Oh,
outside.
sure, sure, sure.
So the questions will be covered through this, okay, and content will be covered through this when you are explaining it. But how
Mm.
would you be sending the content? It will be through WhatsApp,
Mm.
email,
Okay.
webinar,
Mm.
okay, or whatever mode of communication you feel is efficient and effective with these founders. Does this make sense?
Yes.
This part is very important, because if
Mm.
you are not doing this part, you are not establishing your credibility.
Mm.
Initially you would not have that many customer testimonials, which
Mm.
is obviously going to happen. So you would heavily rely on the process, and this is the part, or this is the time also, when you create a really robust process, because most of the people don't have a robust process. They go for delivery and then they screw up everything, and then they blame their customers that they are not they don't deserve us.
Mm.
But it's other way around. Their process is not sorted. So once you are creating that, then you can send it to them, right?
Mm.
Another thing that you can do over here is, which Parth has uh, mentioned to me a couple of times, and that works also. Hand them over a lead magnet
Mm.
that solves their issue, a relatively smaller issue, for in within the next 4 days.
Okay.
They get mini dopamine after fixing that. They
Mm.
would want more.
Mm.
They know the solution that you gave works. So who would be the immediate person that comes to their mind for fixing the rest of the part or rest of the puzzle? You,
It will, yeah.
right? So that's what you can do. So now you'll have to figure out what is that lead magnet that you want to give.
Mhm.
Now you're out.
Now, you have mentioned content and questions. How exactly, in what way to send these things out? Like, it could be through any particular funnel, or that one only which you had mentioned to me was a VSL Valley.
One person fixed, let's say today is first. Okay.
Okay.
Person fixed a call for third.
Hmm.
You have, let's say, 24 hours.
Hmm.
Okay. Between this to this. Well, you'll have more than that, but I'm assuming 24 hours. Inside these 24 hours, you should send a sequence of 5 emails and WhatsApp
Hmm.
that will help, or that will equip them with what they can expect during this call. Okay.
Okay.
Now, how can you establish that? One, by explaining the process, right? Second, by telling how this process helped other people. Okay. Now, also, if you are filling up, or if you're making them fill what's their company or what's their niche, then you can customize this for their niche,
Hmm.
right? Pretty easy. For example, the funnel for B2, like SaaS, will be different from the people who are coming from e-commerce. So you can have a tag that is customizable and is personalized to the company or the niche that they are filling. You can have multiple niches over here in the drop down of the form that you are making them fill. And then the tag is also dependent upon that. Depending upon the tag, you're changing your email sequence. So email sequence will look like process. Okay, the process will also be different for B2C and B2B, right? Then process helped. Okay, then again, what can you expect after the process and all that. But ideally, over here, I would suggest you to focus more on what should they be ready with before the call, what are the things that they need to do before the call, so that they own the call.
Hmm.
You need to give them homework so that they feel like they are working with you already. When you make them do stuff which they have to do before the call, first, they feel involved. Okay. Second, they are already sold. Why? Because the temperament and the attitude of these people will be much different from the people who are just there as window shoppers.
Hmm.
Because they'll be like, I have done this, I've done this, I've done this. Okay. And then you'll be like, yeah, yeah, let's do this. Okay. Then they'll feel involved. If they love what you are doing because they are involved and they understand it much better than everyone else, they will convert. Now you have to
Hmm.
sort this process for yourself. Now let's say this is like fourth sequence, fifth sequence. You can fill that up with multiple processes and all. You can just
Yes.
go to Claude and see what
Hmm.
are the other emails that you should be sending. Once this is done, and you are saying that none of the people is converting anyway, so you should have a sequence post this also, which should also be towards customer testimonials and what more to expect, what will they expect, or what can they expect after 10 days of working with you, 15 days of working with you, doing that. And then telling them this thing also that we are already booked and we have only 5 slots left. And
Hmm.
make sure that if you're working in this niche, you're not creating fake urgency. First of all, you will not be able to create fake urgency. Okay, because obviously you will be only able to work with a handful amount of clients initially, because you don't have that much amount of people inside your team. Second of all, even if you do, don't create it unnecessarily. Okay, just tell them, like, the best way to push them forward is by telling them, hey, you said you wanted to achieve this by 26th of this date. If we don't start today, you will not be able to complete, or you will have to extend the deadline. At that point of time, they'll be like, this person listens, he knows my concerns. I don't think I'll have to keep on pushing him if I get him on board to get stuff done, because he's taking the ownership of the project much more than I am able to.
Hmm.
Now tell me, how many things out of these are you doing?
It's very few actually.
I think zero. Or even if you're doing it, you're not doing it efficiently. If
One
you
more, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, so one more thing right now. Firstly, the start only is wrong because the call is more about discovery rather than you mentioned that here in this process already they are sold. But in my case, what happens? Call is more of a discovery, like who are you? They also want to get to know about me. What have you done before? So it becomes rather than an introduction rather than a sales call. And
Best thing that you can do over here is have a setter. The setter comes in, have a 30-minute call with them that day itself. Make sure that these are the ideal prospects, and if they aren't, that person eliminates them. It saves your time as well as their time. And then setter himself can give them the homework. These are the things that you're supposed to do before the call. Otherwise, the call will be useless.
And in the call, like, what should be the main thing? Like, giving them the offer and setting them within the call itself, or how is that? Like, Ravi Abowala, like, I have seen a lot of his videos where he mentions and talks about one call closures rather than two or three. In my case, it's 10, 20 call closures right now. So, how do I bring to there? And I'm always scared to even ask, like, am I selling too early, or is this the right time, or should I wait a little more?
Read the books been selling, and try to follow a few sales coaches who are there in this industry. That will
Okay.
help you a lot more.
Any sales coaches names that you would like to tell?
Cole, Gordon, and Jeremy. I think these two are the best ones.
Okay. Fine.
Don't go for Jordan Belfort.
One more doubt which I get sometimes is that right now what I'm trying to do is that get on a call with them, understand a bit, then provide them a custom solution for their thing.
Hmm.
Of course, it's in a niche and everything. So I sometimes feel that will instead of doing it in that manner, like if I just productize the thing and publish it like a SaaS or something, will that be a better option or is this only the better option?
Depends upon when you are asking me this.
Okay.
It's more like a pendulum. Okay. And market maturity and where the market is. Now, if you are asking, and also on the geography as well. For example, if you do this for Indian market, currently it is working. But if you do it for US market, it is not working currently. The SaaS part.
Hmm.
They already have issue believing in people. Therefore, it becomes harder for you to sell any SaaS product there. So they want a person to come and fix it. Like vibe coding is cool, like really cool, till the time you realize that it has a lot of open loops and security issues. Okay, like people who are doing vibe coding, they don't know how much they are open to vulnerabilities. Like if I am the person who is seeing the vibe code or anything that is coded by an LLM, I'm like, oh god, he's gonna really just be crying if he scales it up, because you can easily do a lot of things. Are you getting it?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
people are aware of the limitations which are there with SaaS and all. So they want a person to be responsible over there, okay, with your regards. But if you're selling a SaaS that is much more mature and you have a team that is mature, okay, then obviously they will trust you more. For example, there are a lot of SaaS tools which are working, but then there are it depends upon how you are running it. And trust me, running a SaaS business is much harder than running a service business. Service business, according to me, is the easiest one, because in SaaS you have to look at a lot of things. Like I can take one whole day lecture, okay, on what are the things that you should be doing in SaaS. But with service business is not much, because you need to just communicate better. If you are able to communicate better, everything works over there,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
Hey, I hope you liked the video, and if it made you wonder whether your Facebook ads could be performing better, that's exactly what we help businesses figure out. Now, most of the time, the problem isn't obvious. It could be your strategy, your creatives, your tracking, or the way your account is being managed. So, if you want clarity on what's actually hurting performance, click the link in the description and book an audit. So, it's a paid audit because we take the time to properly review your account, identify the real bottlenecks, and do a proper diagnosis. So, if you are running Facebook ads and want to know what is wrong with your account, then click the link below and book your audit. Also understand that this is a diagnosis call. We'll not be able to prescribe you the medicine over here. Okay. We'll just tell you what's wrong with your account. And if it makes sense, then we can explore the opportunity to work together. That's all. And it is paid because diagnosis does take time and it requires a lot of attention. So in order for you to be serious and us also to be serious, that's why it's a paid call. So if you are serious about scaling your Facebook ads, then click the link in the description and book the audit call right now.